I want to tell you about my hero. When I was 4 years old, we lived in a little townhouse in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And I remember that I was real reluctant to take a nap, so I was just kind of laying in bed. And it was kind of stormy outside. All of a sudden, my mom came into my room and grabbed me out of bed. We ran downstairs, and they had pulled the couch away from the wall, and she took me and my sisters and put us behind the couch. And the wind was going crazy outside. I asked my mom what was going on, and she said, "Nothing, honey, nothing, don't worry." And my sister said, "Is this a tornado?" And my mom kind of just gave her a look like, don't say that because it's going to scare Brian. The wind was going nuts and it was shaking our front door. All of a sudden I saw like this flash of a person go past me, grab the front door and hold it shut. And I remember looking up over the couch and seeing this man holding the door shut as the wind was trying to push it open. And it hit me that that was my dad. At 4 years old, it was just, I didn't understand the danger. I didn't understand what was going on. All I understood was that my dad was keeping away the bad stuff by holding the door shut. And that's when my dad kind of first became my hero. Growing up in the Nessel household, my dad became my hero in many different ways. When my oldest sister first had a boyfriend over for dinner, my dad came home from work and we all sat down to the table, and my dad kept on acting like he was tired. And so we all sat down at the table, and my dad mentioned 3 or 4 times how tired he was, and next thing I know I looked over and my dad had smashed his face into the mashed potatoes and was snoring. And my sister's boyfriend looked over in horror at this man who had fallen asleep in his mashed potatoes, and my mother of course said, "Hal." And my dad woke up and he had the mashed potatoes all over his face, and then he just kind of smiled at me, and that was my dad. My dad did everything for a joke and everything to make people laugh. As I grew up, my dad also had the other side of him. When I would get in trouble, I knew I could get away with certain things with my mom. But when Dad was around, I never tried to get away with things. Dad was definitely the one who you didn't mess with or try to pull anything over on. Because Dad had lived a very, very full, exciting life as a child. He was the son of a Methodist minister, so you weren't going to be able to get away with much with my dad. But after high school, my dad and I went from father-son to best friends. Golf became our connection. We golfed 2, 3, 4 times a week during the summer, and sometimes we would golf 36 holes in a day. That was Dad and I's thing. There were weeks that we would spend every single day in the morning golfing with each other. We'd get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Dad would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to be at the course at 6. And we would golf. And when we'd golf, we would talk about everything. From sports to life to problems I was having to my business to family issues, everything. Last year when my son Evan passed away, my dad was the person that I went to because I had no idea what to do. I was lost. I didn't know how to handle it. And I came to my dad and I said, I don't know what to do. What do I do? You've got to help me. And it was his words that day that helped me make it through that day and the next day and the day after that. I talked to my dad on the phone just about every single day, and sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. Whenever I would play a round of golf or whenever something good would happen with work, Dad was the one I would call. This past Wednesday, I lost my hero. But he will never be out of my heart. My dad hated funerals, and because of that, we're not having one for him. But my dad got high-speed internet because his son was on YouTube and because he was proud of all the silly and funny things that I did on YouTube. And so this one was for him. I will miss you every single day of my life. And you've made me the man that I am. And I love you.